Okay, so as I said, just beginning lying down. Maybe having a couple of bricks handy. Chloe, I'll get yours, don't worry. Okay, it's Thursday morning. Welcome to your flow practice. So taking everything a little bit wider than usual. No worries. And remembering, if you have any niggles in the low back, just bring a bend to the knees. But if it feels okay, legs extended, arms out to the side, maybe palms facing up, just to encourage that natural settling through the shoulders, openness through the chest. You want to just begin the practice feeling settled. So do what you need to. Notice any places that just still like to hold on to those bits of tension, like the jaw or the skin around the eyes. And just take a moment to soften, to ease, before eventually coming to a little bit of stillness. And once you've found that position, really commit to being still. There's something quite lovely about being still, which isn't easy for all of us and not something we get to do very often. Usually we're kind of preparing for sleep, but we're actually preparing for movement today. So be still and notice how that feels. What continues to move? Maybe the thoughts, definitely your breath. Just observe those. Check in with how you're feeling this morning. Reminding yourself you're exactly where you plan to be. You've rolled out your yoga mat. You've committed to some morning movement. So as best as you can, try to be here now in this moment. Connect a little bit deeper to your body by noticing the breath now. How's it moving this morning? Where can you feel the breath? It's such a powerful tool to kind of bringing everything more inward. So tune in, look inward. Be with your breath for just a few more rounds, making each inhale a little bit deeper, each exhale a little bit longer. And almost see if you can breathe into the whole of your body. So, right to the fingertips, right to the tip toes. Whole body breathing this morning. Just take about 3 more rounds here. Settling the mind and just being a little bit closer to yourself this morning. Wishing you all a really lovely practice. On your next inhale, just start to move the fingers, move the toes. Bringing some really nice movements back to the body, movements that feel intuitive. And you're ready, start to ease into a full body stretch. Make yourself really long. Maybe a little movement from side to side. Anything that feels nice, everything that feels natural. Good. Maybe you reach the hands and the feet up to the sky like you're standing on the sky. Move the wrists, move the ankles, the toes, the hands, the feet. Maybe bend and extend the elbows and the knees. Good. And then bring the feet to the floor, but the knees are bent. And place the hands down beside you, palms facing down. On an inhale, start to lift the spine off the earth, curling the vertebra up. And then as you exhale, just lower it straight back down. Nice. Just keep doing that. So inhale to lift and rise. Pause at the top if you want. And then exhale to come back down. You can add the arms in if you want. As you inhale, you float the arms up and above you. It's almost like the backs of the hands come just, above the head, arms straight. And then as you exhale, you can either kind of slide them out beside you to come back down or float them up and down. So yogi's choice, you can float them up and away. It's almost like you're doing that kind of snow angel thing, yeah? Or you can lift and lower by drawing like a semicircle with the fingertips. Again, yogi's choice, arms off the ground or sliding along the ground. When you feel ready, we're just going to stay up for a little bit longer, pressing through the big toes, squeezing the butt, lifting and just feeling the lower body working. You might tuck the shoulders under ever so slightly just to get a little bit higher. We're here for 3. We're here for 2. Good. Slowly come down. Bring the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze, a little rock and roll. Circling the knees, maybe swishing from side to side. Anything that feels good. And then you can either push yourself up through a sideways motion, or you can start to roll up and down the spine. Enjoy a little bit of a morning massage of the back. Take as many of those as you want before coming up to seated. Good. So sitting tall, rolling the shoulders back and down. Maybe the eyes are closed or the gaze might be soft. Start to drop the head, chin to chest. Notice the weight of the head. And when you're ready, just start to sway the head from side to side. Focusing on the spine this morning. So really thinking about the neck here, the very top of your spine. So the vertebrae come all the way up to the base of the skull. So that kind of knobbly part at the top of the spine, all the way up to the base of the skull is still part of your spine. So just notice how the neck feels, and then pause next time you go over to the right. So think again, we've said this before, right ear is almost reaching to right shoulder. You can reach the left fingertips out, you can drape the right hand. Again, these are all just extra options if they feel okay this morning. And you want to kind of play around with the chin a little bit, just moving it so slightly will really change how this feels. Good, how's the breath? Release the right fingertips down. Keep the head kind of in position as you float the left fingertips up and over, and just enjoy a nice side stretch now. So you can go as deep into this as you want. You might even drop the hand behind the head. I find that when you start to really point the elbow up and across, you get to feel it even more in the waist, maybe a little bit in like the side of the ribs. Good, and then let's move the shoulder here. So fingertips land on the shoulder, and you're just drawing some circles with the elbow. You can do both directions. I tend to always go backwards. Again, whatever feels good. Lovely. Inhale, come back to center. Let's reach both arms up. Hook the thumbs. Just make yourself nice and long. And then exhale, float the fingertips down, head heavy, chin to chest. So you might sway a couple of times before you go straight to the other side. Again, it's up to you. But this time, left ear is reaching for top of left shoulder. Left hand is draping, right fingertips are reaching. Again, moving the chin ever so slightly. And dropping the shoulder down, sometimes this shoulder still is quite high. Drop it down, and then you'll really start to feel it through even the top of the shoulder as it connects to the side of the neck. Remember, you can stay here, or you can add those little kind of almost pressing the head into the hand that's draping on the side of the face, moving the chin a little. So any of those little adjustments, you take them if they feel good. Let's go into the side stretch when you're ready. So left fingertips float down, right fingertips reach up and across. Oh, nice. Again, maybe you're dropping the hand to the back of the neck. You can even give the neck a little bit of a rub. Sometimes it's nice to do a bit of self-massage. Don't know if any of you guys do that. In the evening, before bed, feet, hands. Oh. Good. How's the breath here? Lovely. Inhale, let's come back to center. One more reach up. Make yourself super long. Maybe a little bit of movement here from side to side. You can even circle the rib cage a little bit. Getting a sense of the whole of the spine now. So if you think of the sit bones, can you kind of roll around on them? And don't worry about what it looks like. Maybe even close your eyes and don't think about what it looks like. Think about how it feels, yeah? It's very difficult in today's world. We think about what everything looks like, but actually really doesn't matter. Good. When you've had enough of those little circles, let's come to tabletop and we'll start to move the spine even more from there. So now you've got a little bit more support, a little bit more weight though. We'll start to kind of feel the muscles working a little bit more. So anything that feels good, yeah? Some side to side movements. You can still do those circles that we just did, yeah? You're just almost using the rib cage, I would say, to encourage that movement. And then you've got your, classic cat-cows where you're dipping the belly, lifting, exhaling to round. Again, maybe close the eyes and just notice how that all feels this morning. Lovely. Back to neutral. Walk the hands forward. We're going to keep the hands wide on this first set. So melting heart. So this is a back bend more for the upper spine, yeah? So if you think of the chest coming to the earth, if you think of the collarbones coming to the earth, try and keep the arms active, fingertips spread, elbows lifted. You might feel this through the shoulders a little bit, but hopefully a little bit more through the front of the chest. If you're not feeling anything, then maybe you need to elevate the hands. That will just create more space for you to go into. So give that a go if you need to. If you're at home, don't worry about what you're using, whatever is available to elevate your hands. Good, and then slowly push back up. Walk the hands in a little bit more now, so they're back to being shoulder width. And let's start to twist a little bit here. So right hand's going to float up. I sometimes like to bring my bottom hand a little bit closer so it feels like I can stack my shoulders. So the bottom hand might come into like the more underneath the face rather than underneath the shoulder. And then we're going to switch. So right hand comes down to where the left hand was, and you just go straight to the other side. So you can go with your breath or you can go at your own pace. Sometimes it's nice to pause. And it's first thing in the morning, so just go gently. When do we twist our spines, yeah? It's Thursday. You might not have done this for days. So just be kind to your body as you're doing these twists. Great, really nice. Okay, so next time the right hand's up, just pause, doesn't matter what hand to be honest. And then you're going to thread that arm behind the wrist. So it's really easy to go close to the knees. I almost want you to go as far away from the knees as you can. I actually think you almost want to go in line with where your hand was. So I like to move the other hand forward. So walk the left hand forward as you thread and bring the right temple outside of shoulder to the earth. The hips are still over the knees, but we're not compressing the spine here. We've still got that nice length. You can stay here, or the left hand might float up towards the sky. Might even drop down and wrap into the waist. Some people can even find their inner right thigh. I had to think about what side we're on there. But again, just see where you want to bind to if you want to. There is also a little balance challenge here. If you want, you can tuck the left toes under, extend the left leg, maybe the toes stay on the floor. Yeah, good. If you want, you can even try and lift the toes off the earth. Wobbles might happen. You might tip all the way over. Yeah, that happens often, don't worry. Worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to roll on your side. If you did that little balance, come down, toes, and then knees, and then release. Well done, good. Right arm comes all the way back up, and then you're back to center. Okay, before we do the other side, let's do a second set of melting hearts. So you can come back to that wide position, or if you want to try hands a little bit closer, you can kind of bring your thumbs to meet, and it's almost like you kind of nestle your head in between the upper arms. You feel this more in the shoulders, a little bit more in like the, like just the muscles that kind of sit under the armpits. Notice how that feels. How's the breath? Good. Try and keep the arms active, elbows lifted. And then when you're ready, just push yourself back up slowly. Walk the hands in. We're back to tabletop, a little bit of movement. And then let's do that twist on the left-hand side. So right hand's going to stay down, left arm's going to reach up. And again, just pause for a moment here before you thread. And then when you do thread, be mindful you're as close to that wrist as you can be. Even pad the right hand forward so you can get really far along the mat until left ear and cheek comes to the earth. And we're just holding this nice twist again. So remember, you can stay here, or this time the right arm reaches up. Maybe it binds around. See how that base shoulder feels. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. And remember, you can stay here, or if you want to try that little balance. So firstly, just tuck the toes and extend the leg. And that might be enough. It's the right leg, yeah? If you're on your right toes and you're like, okay, I want to have a little go, all you're doing is floating the toes off the earth just a little bit. When you've got your balance, then you can kind of take the leg a little bit higher, only if you want to. Breathing for 3, for 2. Extended leg down, unbind, press the left hand into the earth, the right hand into the earth, reach the left arm high, and then back to tabletop. Okay, so some little shoulder movements here can feel good. Maybe a brief child's pose. Again, just a little bit of moments of movement or stillness just to let those twists go. Okay, let's come forward into a forearm plank. So you're going to bring your elbows down to where your hands were. Maybe you interlace the fingertips together and you're going to extend the legs and lift the knees. So make yourself long here. Think about crown of head to heels. Push into the forearms, draw the navel in, strong through the legs. Butt and shoulders are in line. We're here for 5. Feet can be nice and wide to help you spread the weight for 4. Feel the whole body working here for 3. Keep pushing through forearms, 2. Listen carefully on 1. Right hand to where right elbow is. Left hand to where left elbow is. You're in a high plank. And then we're going to shoot the hips high, downward facing dog. Maybe just step the feet in a little and walk it out. Get settled here. First downward dog. And really start to look from side to side here. I want you to get a little sense of some gentle twisting by padding out the legs or padding out the heels, bending the knees, and then looking from side to side. So we're kind of thinking about the side body in our downward dog, our spine, our torso. Because sometimes we think of downward dog as stretching the back of the legs, the shoulders and the arms working hard, but actually we're trying to create real space in the spine from the hips all the way to the shoulders. So lengthen through the side body. Send the hips high. Don't worry about heels to ground. Think about hips to sky. Okay, walk the feet back a little. Roll forward to a high plank. Make yourself really long here. Strong through the whole body, but long as well. Drop the knees to the floor. Listen carefully. You're going to bring the hips almost to the backs of the wrists. Pull the rib cage through. Wrap the upper arms. So it's like a supported upward facing dog. But we want to be quite active in the glutes. So don't dump completely. Strong through the arms. Pull the rib cage through. Switch on the back muscles. Maybe the gaze is forward. We're here for 3. We're here for 2. Good on 1. Tuck the toes. Soften through the upper spine. Round. It's almost like you're going into a cat. Send the hips back. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Okay, so stick with that if that felt okay. This time we're going to take an upward facing dog. So we're going to keep the knees lifted. So walk back the feet, come back to your high plank. And that little step back is important so you get that space in the spine. So remember that little cue, hips to wrists. So look forward, almost move forward on the toes, think hips to wrists, and then flip over the toes and see if you can come straight into an upward facing dog. Same thing, upper arms wrapping in, rib cage pulling through, chin lifted, gaze forward or maybe lifted. Strong legs, we're here for 3. Strong arms, hands and feet pressing down for 2. Good, same thing, tuck the toes, soften the knees, almost round the spine to push back to downward dog. Just enjoy that little almost counter posture. So you can either do a traditional vinyasa like we know the knees or chaturanga, or you can wave through those 2 positions. So it's like a high plank, hips to wrists. It's almost like a wave of the spine. Come forward and then soften the knees and wave it back. And I don't think you need to kind of worry about the toes. I think the toes can stay kind of tucked. You don't have to flip over the toes. So just wave from down dog to up dog, but in your own way. All of our spines are going to feel different doing this. The knees need to soften. The hips need to move. The shoulders need to move. The whole of the spine needs to move. So wave a few times. If it doesn't feel good, come back to a normal vinyasa or just drop the knees and do some cat-cows. You can wave there. But it's a little bit of like exploring how your spine wants to move this morning. So wavy vinyasas. And then bring the knees down. Let the hands come beside the feet, round the spine. So this is our kind of nice counter posture this morning. Closed knee child's pose. We just allow the spine to kind of drape over the thighs. Shoulders forward. Whole body nice and heavy. Okay, hands beside knees. Roll up when you're ready. Okay, fingertips are going to sweep along the mat and you're going to lift up. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. So the spine's awake now. So let's go as deep as we can with these. Fingertips are coming kind of up and over as far as feels good. Trace the sky. And sometimes lifting the gaze will help pull the chest through, but we're also sending the hips forward. Keep going. So inhale to come up, exhale to come down. Nice. If it feels better with toes tucked for stability, you can keep the toes tucked and just keep coming back down to the heels with the butt, so you're not going as low. And then if it feels good, next time you're up, we're going to stay up. We're going to bring the hands to the low back. So it's just a gentle encouragement of the hips forward. And it also allows you to squeeze shoulder blades, pull rib cage through. Gaze can be forward, or again, you can start to lift the gaze. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Send the hips forward. And even I think at the tips of your fingers, you can feel your butt is switched on or not switched on. So try and switch on the glutes. How muscles work is as one extends, the other one has to contract. So if you think of your bicep as it contracts, the tricep has to relax. Same with this. Tricep has to contract for the bicep to relax. Same here. This has to contract for that to relax. So think about that. Breathing for 3. How is the breath? Sometimes when we're back bending, the breath gets a bit sticky. For 2. Good. On 1. Contract the tummy muscles to bring yourself back to center. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck the toes. We're back in downward facing dog. How does that feel now? Have we got more space in the spine? Let's walk the feet to the backs of the hands and dangle here. Again, nice counter posture. So almost rounding, catching elbows, maybe swaying a little bit from side to side. Your version of a dangle. Nice. And then keeping hold of the elbows, you're just going to roll up through the spine super slow. So the arms are still kind of framing the face. Uncurl every vertebra until you come up to stand. And you've still got your elbows. It's almost like you got a little box around your head. And then just start to move from side to side here by pulling on one elbow and then the other. Feet can be together or hip width, again, whatever feels good. But as you pull on the elbow, it's almost like you're then sending that opposite hip to the side. So you're feeling the whole of the side body wake up. Good. Once you've done a few on each side, come back to center, reach the arms up. Let's twist now. So right arm back, left arm forward. Doesn't matter which way you go here. Whatever the brain can work out this morning, as long as one arm's going forward and one arm's going back. And it's an inhale to center. It's an exhale to twist. And just notice how much space you can feel in the shoulders. How does the breath help you out? Hips, navel, knees, toes, that all stays forward. It's just the chest and the shoulders. Good. Once you've done a few each side and you're even, inhale, come back to center. Look up. Exhale, float the hands to the low back again. So exactly the same as you did when we were kneeling, but now we're standing. So just be mindful. The thighs can get a bit more involved. The heels, the feet can get a bit more involved for that stability. You might feel you can go a little bit deeper. We're breathing here though. Check in with the breath. for 3. Squeeze shoulders for 2. On 1, use your tummy muscles, bring yourself back to center, and then just take a moment to settle and relax here. Nice. Okay, we're going to flow through some sun salutations with a low lunge in, yeah? But yes, the hips are working. They're a little bit warm now with the opening. But I want you to think about rib cage. I want you to think about back bending in your low lunges. Okay, inhale, arms come up nice and high. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, float the right leg nice and high, and you're going to step the right foot to the back of the mat and drop the knee. Take an inhale, just like we did before. Fingertips sweep forward. They trace the sky. You send the right hip forward. You send the left hip back. Exhale, use the tummy muscles. Come back to center, hands to the floor. Inhale, find your high plank. Exhale, you can bring the hips to the wrists again, just like you did, like wavy vinyasa. It's like you miss your chaturanga. That's something nice to hear, isn't it? And then exhale, slow push back to downward facing dog. Okay, and we're just staying here for 3 breaths. Opportunity to be still, opportunity to come back to the breath. On your final inhale, you're going to float the right leg nice and high. Point the toes, make that leg really long, look forward. Exhale, step the right foot all the way through. Drop the back knee, uncurl the toes. Sweep the fingertips, same thing, low lunge, other side. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, kick that back leg really high. Exhale, feet together and fold. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, come to stand. Nice, same thing. We'll lead with the left leg. Inhale, arms up. Can you trace the fingertips? Exhale, arms wide as you fold, head heavy. Inhale, left leg floats really high. Exhale, step it right to the back of the mat, drop the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms, you know where we're going. Exhale, arms wide, hands to the floor. Inhale, big step back to plank, so curl the back toes under. Wrists and hips find one another, pull the rib cage through. Exhale, slowly push back like a cat position with the spine. 3 breaths, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, float the left leg nice and high. Look forward and exhale, step the left foot to the front of the mat, Drop the back knee and curl the toes. Take an inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, arms wide, hands to the floor. Inhale, kick the back leg really high. Exhale, feet together and fold. Inhale, slowly roll up. Exhale, head, neck and shoulders, allow things to come up. Good, let's go again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. So you know where you're going. Inhale, right leg floats really high. Exhale, drop the toes and the knee. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, plank. Exhale, hips to wrists. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly push back. This time we're inhaling right leg nice and high straight away. This time, split your dog. Bend the knee and kick the heel like you're trying to get to your left shoulder blade. It's like we're really creating space now through the right side body. Can you think of a line coming from your right wrist to your right knee? Yes. Make that line longer. Lift the knee higher, stack the hip more. Maybe looking under that right armpit for 3, for 2. On 1, straighten the leg, look forward. Exhale, step the right foot through. Drop the knee, inhale, low lunge. Getting a little bit deeper each time, don't overlook these. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, big kick up of that back foot. Exhale, feet together and fold. Inhale all the way up, nice and slowly. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Enjoy the movement now. Inhale, float the left leg really high. Exhale, step it to the back of the mat, drop the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale to plank. Exhale, hips to wrists. Pull the rib cage through. And then take your time into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg nice and high. Split dog on this side now. Bend the knee, stack the hips. And you should feel like you've got lots of space in your split dog. Knee high, hips stacked. Breath nice and strong here. Imagine that line from the wrist to the knee. For 3, for 2. Good. Look forward on 1, straighten the leg. Step the left foot behind the left hand. Drop the back knee. Take an inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, back leg kicks super high. Exhale, feet together and fold. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, head, neck and shoulders, last thing. 1 more round with a wild thing this time. Our back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Good, enjoy this. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right foot to the back of the mat, drop the knee. Now, can you take the fingertips to their deepest reach now? Good, exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, step or slide. You've got your options. Remember, hips can still come to wrist with the knees down if that feels better. Exhale, downward facing dog. So wild thing, yeah? Lift the right leg high. Bend the knee, stack the hips, and don't rush this. Get your really good split dog, and it's just an option to take wild thing. The main thing is your heel comes onto the earth, the left heel. As that happens, the right hand just wants to leave the earth, the right toes want to come to the earth, and then you're in a really deep back bend now. Yeah, you've been opening up the spine. Go as deep as you can in your wild thing for 3. Send the hips to the sky for 2. Good, on 1, face the front of the mat. Lift the right toes, drop the right hand, bring the right foot through, drop the left knee. You're in your low lunge. Good. Hook the thumbs just on this final round. You can stay here or you can add the twist. So left hand to the front, right hand to the back. Enjoy that feeling for 3. Good, for 2. On 1, let's just briefly bring the arms back to center and then exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, big kick up of that back leg. Exhale, feet together and fold. Inhale, rolling up. And then exhale, head, neck and shoulders come back down. Last side, inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, left leg really high. Exhale, softly land it and drop the knees. Last time, fingertips as deep as they can reach. Good, hands to the floor. Step or slide. You've got plank or knees down, but hips are coming to the wrists for the last time. Slow push back, downward facing dog. Let's get into wild thing on the left side, nice and slowly. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hips. Take your time. Right heel comes to the earth. Left toes find the earth. Left fingertips reach. Deepest posture of your practice on this side now. We're here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Good, on 1. Slowly come back. Lift the toes, bring the left hand down, and then step the left foot through, drop the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms, low lunge, just 1 breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, float the back leg nice and high. Exhale, feet together and fold. Hold the elbows, just dangle and sway here. Let it go. Belly to thigh, super heavy. Good. If you've been swaying, just come to a little bit of stillness. Allow the hands to rest down on the earth. And you're just going to roll up through the spine super slow until you come to stand. Roll the shoulders back and down. Feet together or hip width. We're going to stand for our final bit of stillness today. So, tailbone long, feet grounded, crown of head to sky, shoulders back and down. Draw up the thighs. Arms heavy beside you, palms maybe slightly facing forward. Natural curl to the fingertips. And just like we started in stillness, lying, we're now ending in stillness, standing. Exactly the same posture, exactly the same position. We're just standing on our feet. The ground is not supporting us here now. You are supporting yourselves. Your spine is supporting you. Strong, spacious. Wherever you are, take a nice long exhale. Breathe in for a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathe out for 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through the nose, 2, 3. Breathe out through the nose, 2, 1. You've got 8 more like that. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 5, all on your own. And it's so easy to skip this bit. It's so easy to start moving into the rest of your day. So easy to think, right, yoga practice tick, done. Right, what's next? But this is yoga. This is what's really your practice is all about. It's whether you can be still, it's whether you can be present and with your breath and with your body, nothing else. Take your final breath. Then on your next exhale, chin to chest, little bow down. Hands can be at heart center if you wish, or you just might want to bring the hands in front of you. Little sign of gratitude with that bow of the head. Well done for getting on your mat this morning. Think about how you're going to go intentionally now into the rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, online yogis. Feeling ready? Yeah. Good. I was going to maybe end with hands at the wall. This is a lovely one. We've run out of time. I do that every morning. Such a nice one. Right. Well done, guys. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. Right.